Hey everybody, Drew here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we are in the Diamond DA62, which has actually quickly become one of my favorite light aircraft in the sim. It's got twin engines and a glass cockpit, which really makes it a ton of fun to fly, and it's really not all that hard to start up, and the checklist is definitely more built into the game, is more than sufficient to teach you how to do it. But if you're anything like me, it's actually somewhat helpful to have somebody guide you through it by their own voice, you know? So we're going to do exactly that today. So why don't we go ahead and learn to start this aircraft together. I'm going to go ahead and make sure my head tracker's on and center unlock my view. And we're going to take a little look around the cockpit. Man, it is pretty, isn't it? Definitely they've done an excellent job. I think they've knocked it out of the park. And there's very much room to grow in this sim. I'm glad that I did my recent upgrade on the computer for recording. This is excellent. Looks fantastic. So, how do we start this aircraft? Well, we're going to make sure of a few things before we do anything, right, to start the engines. First of all, we're going to make sure that our parking brake is on, which, yep, parking brake is on. You can make sure our throttles are at idle, which is back down there. Trim's neutral. And we're going to have to turn our fuel on, so we're going to go ahead and click that twice, and close those cross guards, and we're going to come over here and make sure the alternators are on. Everything else here is not actually modeled. None of these switches are on, batteries and everything else are off. Alright, cool. We are good to go and turn on our master avionics, and we're going to go ahead, and I said about 50% fuel. Zoom in. We can see, yep, about 50% fuel. Good enough. And we can see that the oil temperature is down in the yellow and the pressure down in the red and everything else because we haven't started the engine yet. Getting some cautions. Let's see. That should be everything from memory serve. We're going to go ahead and turn our strobe light on now because we're going to be starting the engines in a moment. And we're going to do that by flicking on the left engine arm, and we're looking for a left glow on because these are again turbo diesel engines. Boom, that's off. We're going to go ahead and hold the left starter button. And what we're looking for over here is a stabilization of around 710 plus or minus 30 on the RPM. Oil temperature comes up, oil pressure comes up and into green. Coolant is slowly coming up, and that shouldn't move at all. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to go ahead and repeat the same process for the right engine. I'm going to go ahead and lock our view because it's going to be easier for you guys to actually see this if I lock it. And once again, we're checking alternator right hand is on, engine master on right, got that glow warning. And we're going to go ahead and start right engine, pressing that. And there you go. You're going to see the RPM rise, and it should fall down and stabilize about the same, 714 or so. Bang on, 714. We're going to watch that oil temperature rise up into the green, oil pressure. Should stabilize back down with the other one there. And the coolant should rise up. So far it looks good. Everything else is looking pretty good right now. We can finally go ahead and turn our avionics master on. That'll make sure that all these other avionics systems are powered on. And we're pretty much ready to go. If this were real life, here, I'm going to use the other in-game view instead of my head tracker. It's a little smoother for this. Turn our cabin air on. Can defrost, all that kind of jazz. It's quite funny. Make sure flaps are still up. Everything else looks good. I think we're ready to taxi. We're going to go ahead and contact the tower. Or the ground, rather. And we're going to go... Taxi, depart straight out.
London ground, Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052 with whiskey request taxi for takeoff departing straight out.
Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052 taxi to and hold short of runway 155 taxiway Charlie Bravo cross runway 9er. Contact tower on 119.4 when ready.
Alright, super. Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead, we're going to respond to him and acknowledge taxi clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway 15 using taxiway Charlie Bravo cross runway 9er Diamond 9052.
Outstanding. And it should give us a bug. This is the only assistance I really use quite frequently, and that's just to know where we're going. And I don't really need a pushback, so we can actually contact ground and let them know that we don't necessarily. We'll go
London
request
ground,
pushback.
Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052 requesting pushback.
Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052 pushback request accepted.
I'm gonna tell them we want to go to the right,
9052 requesting pushback to steer the
because
aircraft to
we
the
want to
right.
go this way.
Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
And while they're doing that, we're going to go ahead and turn our landing and taxi lights on and get our instruments going. And that should be pretty much everything else until we want to take off. Since we're just doing a VFR flight today, we don't necessarily need to set any of our other instrumentation. We'll go ahead and turn the pitot heat on. I do wish these aircrafts came with manuals. I suppose you could go and get them. Thank you to this person, by the way. I love the way they've done the ground services. It's actually really well done. I won't lie. It reminds me a lot of the DCS Super Carrier. Very cool. I'm going to go ahead and set my right map. Just in because we want to know where we're taking off. And I've got my other inset map there. I'm going to explain the glass cockpit HUD at some point. So if you don't know what I'm doing any of this, don't bother. Don't worry about it. We will get to this at some point. Also, I'm going to turn my position lights on, actually. Christmas tree so that we can be seen. And we can go request pushback stop.
London ground, Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052 requesting the end of pushback.
Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052 request to end pushback received.
Thank you, sir. All right. So since they're no longer connected, we can go ahead and disable our parking brake. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and recenter our head tracker like so. Oh, there you go. You can see some of the people in multiplayer there just crashing into the ground. Hey there, Chief. All right. Let's go ahead and throttle up. Unlike military aircraft, I fly a lot in DCS. This guy does not exactly have a distinction for nose wheel steering. It's pretty much always on. We're going to go ahead and we're going to follow these blue arrows on the ground. Join this taxiway. They've done an excellent job on the environments. They really have. My God. And this isn't even on like that high of a setting, to be honest with you. It's then like kind of like a medium blend. I did turn like a lot of the reflections and shadows down because they are quite demanding. Because I'd rather have higher res textures and environments, to be honest. It is exceptionally pretty though. My goodness. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make a left-hand turn onto the taxiway here. Then we can see that it is, in fact, the weight is 09 right. We're going to have to cross the runway here, which we already have clearance to do. Nobody should be landing unless they're multiplayer. If this was real life, of course, we would stop and look. So we'll just make a quick look anyway. Habit. We're going to go ahead and turn right. And we're looking for runway 15, which you can see down there. And we're going to line ourselves up on 15. All right. Go ahead and go. Ooh, not that guy. Contact London Tower.
London Tower, Diamond Bravo Papa. 9052 at runway 15 ready for takeoff departing straight out.
Diamond Bravo Papa, 9052 cleared for takeoff runway 15 straight out, departure approved.
Acknowledge our
Cleared
clearance.
for takeoff runway 15 Diamond 9052.
And we can go ahead and minimize our ATC window. Alrighty, flaps down to first degree, wait for the light to turn. There, good. Parking brake is off. Brakes free and good. Oh, I'm gonna recenter my flight stem here and make sure that's centered. Alright. Gonna go ahead and put wheel brakes on. Run the engines up to about 50%. We can see on the right hand side there. It says load. We're at 50 now. I'm gonna let go of the wheel brakes. This is lots of runway. We're not quite a combat jet. Now that we're rolling, we're gonna go ahead and give it full throttle. And just like our own jets, we're just going to try and keep it on the center of the runway. Doing our best. I'm still new at this flight sim and model and control. I need to do some tweaking still. But there's our rotation speed right about 70 knots there. And she's clear. We're going to go gear up. Flaps up. Flaps up green, gear up. And that's that. We are airborne. And there you go. We can now go flying. Hope you guys found that informative and entertaining. This has been the startup procedure for the Diamond DA62. See you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.